Kamusta everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of my all-time favorite heroes, X.Borg. If you're into fiery explosive gameplay and tearing through enemy defenses, X.Borg is definitely your go-to. But let's answer the big question. When is the best time to pick X.Borg in a solo ranked match? Stick around because I'm gonna break it all down for you so you can start ranking up with X.Borg. Before we dive in though, let's first understand who X.Borg is and what he can bring to the team. This will help you decide if he's worth picking during the drafting phase. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. It helps YouTube show this video to more X.Borg fans. Plus, the more love we show this hero, the better chance we might finally get that solid revamp from Moonton in the future. Thanks in advance and let's jump in. X.Borg was released back in August 2019 and quickly became a fan favorite because of his hybrid role as a fighter with some tanky elements. He's known for his explosive skills and his tough Firaga armor, which really sets him apart from other fighters. To this day, X.Borg is still a solid pick for anyone who loves dealing consistent damage while being hard to take down. I've been playing X.Borg ever since his release in 2019, and honestly, I've fallen in love with his unique style. His kit is so versatile, from zoning enemies and poking them with continuous AoE damage to surviving intense team fights.
Let fire incinerate all evil!
Alright, now let's talk about what X.Borg can do in a team fight. His real strength lies in his ability to absorb damage, deal continuous AoE damage, and put massive pressure on the enemy with his true damage and that awesome explosive ultimate. He's not your typical tank, but with his Firaga armor, he can dive right into the middle of the action, take some hits, and still keep fighting. Fire missiles is great for zoning and poking enemies with consistent AoE damage. Fire Stake lets you poke and recover your Firaga armor, which adds some disruption in fights. And last in sanity, his ultimate is a massive AoE burst that can totally change the fight, especially when you catch squishy backliners or force the enemy team to scatter.
I'm loving this cyborg body!
Now that we know what X.Borg can do, let's talk about when to actually pick him. To make the right call, you've got to analyze the enemy team comp. Here's when you should lock him in. X.Borg shines in team fights where enemies can't escape his fire missiles and ultimate like Fredrin or Baratz. X.Borg's true damage from his fire missiles when at max heat is awesome against heroes like Esmeralda or Uranus who rely on shields and high HP. Here are some other heroes that X.Borg can easily take advantage of. While X.Borg is a beast, there are some times when he's not the best pick. High mobility heroes and those with heavy burst damage can be a real problem for him since they can dodge his skills and escape his ultimate. So, avoid picking X.Borg against heroes like Ling where his crazy mobility lets him dodge your skills. Fanny since she can easily outmaneuver you and escape from your ult. Chu where his crowd control and mobility can make your life hard. You must remember that if the enemy team has a bunch of these slippery or bursty heroes, you might want to think twice before locking in X.Borg.
Smells like barbecue.
So let's talk about X.Borg's role. Is he better as a jungler, EXP laner, or roamer? In my opinion, he's 50% EXP laner, 35% jungler, and 15% roamer.
Oops! You're on fire!
This is usually my go-to role for X.Borg. He excels in the side lane, can sustain himself with his Firaga armor, and can handle most matchups.
Let's turn up the heat!
X.Borg can jungle decently fast and take down the turtle quickly, but he's not really a good ambush hero. He's more of a late game fighter where you go in first and rely on your team for damage, kind of like Baxia. While roaming isn't X.Borg's best role, he can work as a roamer in certain team comps. In this case, I usually go full tank to help with protection and zoning for the team. But honestly, I'd still suggest letting a better roamer like Minotaur or Carmilla handle that role. It's doable though. I've tried it in one of my old matches, so if you're curious, check the link in the description.
Stop playing with fire! My patience is burning out!
Alright, let's talk emblems and builds. X.Borg really shines in fights when his Firaga armor is active, so I like to focus on survival and sustain. For EXP lane, I use the fighter emblem with Brave Smite, Festival of Blood, and Thrill. This gives you more sustain during fights. Pair it with War Axe to help regenerate Firaga armor in team fights. As a jungler, I usually rock the tank emblem with Impure Rage, Seasoned Hunter, and Agility. It helps you clear jungle camps faster and lets you play more of a shield and initiator for your team while they focus on getting the kills.
My fire is burning brighter!
I've got two main builds for X.Borg, Hybrid DPS and Tank. For Hybrid DPS, focus on War Axe and Brute Force Breastplate for damage and defense, with items like Guardian Helmet, Ice Queen Wand, and Immortality to keep your Firaga armor active longer and zone enemies. For the tank build, keep the same structure but swap Ice Queen Wand for defense items like Dominance Ice, Antique Cuirass, or Athena's Shield, depending on whether the enemy's main damage is magic or physical. I've actually got a whole video on why Guardian Helmet is a must-have for X.Borg now, so check that out when you get the chance. Links in the description. So overall, I still think X.Borg could use a little revamp to make him even better, especially with more ambush potential, but for now, let's make the most of what X.Borg can do in matches. What do you guys think? Is my strategy viable? Did I miss anything? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button. Let's show Moonton that X.Borg deserves some love. Thank you guys for watching, catch you all in the next video, and keep that fire burning. Peace out.